Alright, what is up YouTube boxing family? It is K-Rod here. I'm back with another good video for y'all today. I wanted to talk about Miss Czarina Mccoy and Seniesa Estrada. Why I believe that fight should be next. Simply for the fact that Czarina, she deserves her shot at being a world champion. And for those of you that don't know, Czarina Mccoy, she is a super flyweight, if I'm not mistaken. And she fights at 115 pounds. Very decorated southpaw. Coming out of the good old Las Vegas, Nevada. The hot boxing mecca of boxing. And, yeah, I mean, Czarina, she's a very good fighter. She just got a recent, I want to say 5th round KO stoppage over that Mexican chick, Anna Paola, whatever her name is, Garcia. But yeah, she's 9-0 with 3 knockouts and no losses, no draws. So she's undefeated, and she's 20 years old, just getting better, developing her craft as the time goes on. And yeah, she's doing everything right. I think what I like about Czarina is that she's such a really, really good fighter, and she knows how to make a fight a real good fight, and she makes sure that she gets the job done, and she breaks a lot of fighters down, methodically. And I think what she can expose out of Miss Seniesa Estrada would be way worse than for what most people would not expect out of her. And I think as far as this fight goes, it's a good fight. I think honestly, this fight really does deserve a lot more traction, and I think honestly the fight really does need to happen, just simply for the fact that women's boxing is somewhat getting better. And, all these, future matchups that we all keep talking about do need to happen. And there needs to be more, how should I say, there should be more consumerist demand to call for these, big 50-50 matchups. And, I personally would like to see it more. I truly believe that it's up to boxing fans to, come together of their own groups and start pushing for those fights, especially from the Black American and Hispanic audiences that obviously like to see those big, marquee matchups between notable names. But for women's boxing in particular, it really does deserve more superstardom level matchups where we start seeing, the high value protege type names, and those fights can be made a lot faster than usual because boxing, is a, what have you done for me lately sport. And I think eventually the more time that people keep marinating these long overdue fights is what makes boxing getting worse from that point on, and therefore, it just doesn't get any better. If anything, it just drives, the sport out of business, and a lot of people start getting pissed off to the point where people don't want to, watch boxing anymore. So, I think, as far as, this potential matchup between Czarina and Seniesa, I think this is a really good fight that does need to happen. And I mean, Seniesa, she's not that far away from Czarina. She can easily fight her. And I think that fight personally does need to happen, simply for the fact that Czarina, she is a extremely high class fighter, and she's already proven that she's ready for the world level. Even if it was a 3-minute fight, to see her performance, she would still do good because she's built for that type of, level of competition. Granted, people will say, well, you know, she hasn't proven us enough yet that she's ready for all the top ladies. Can she beat Adelaida Ruiz? Can she beat, Diana Fernandez? Can she beat Jessica Chavez or Jessica Chavez? Whoever she is, and which I do know her. She is a good fighter. Lourdes Juarez, the sister of Mariana Juarez. I mean, all these names that are in the top 10 at least. I know Seniesa, she can beat Sonia Osorio. She could beat Adelaida Ruiz. She can easily beat, any single one of these ladies that are in the top 25 or top 50. And she's not even that far away from hitting a world title because it's like not a lot of people really know who she is yet. But when she does come up, she's going to be dominating. And I mean, she's a very tall, woman for her weight class, 5'3", and most of these girls are not even that tall, I would say. I mean, I want to say at least for that type of weight class, the average height would have to be like 5'2" or 5'1", but it's good enough that Czarina, she has really long arms and she's a really good pure boxer. She can hit. She's not like the biggest puncher. So she is a good volume, puncher style pure boxer. So that's what I like out of Czarina. She's very well talented and well schooled in her own nature. She really knows how to get down and make people respect her skills, into a fight. And I think that's what makes her a bigger threat in the division. Because knowing that super flyweight is really not that big of a weight class. She fits very well into the weight class, making her a much bigger threat in the near future. I think for Seniesa Estrada, she did say from last night's fight that she wanted to fight all the other champions to unify and become undisputed, but see, the problem that I have with this is like, look, I love Seniesa. She's a very good woman, very, very, very highly decorated fighter. But knowing that you fought a 36-year-old woman from Guatemala that has never been to the world level, she hasn't even been pretty much like she hasn't even been to any top 10, contention level fight, and for some weird reason she gets a title shot right away to fight Seniesa Estrada, in which she's been out the ring for well over a year or close to a year, pretty much a year, because this is pretty much like the last fight out of the entire year for the next set of fights. Well, not really, because Christmas PBC fights will happen that upcoming week, but still, for female boxing, like, this is bad for her because she just came out of nowhere and just took the fight. And I wouldn't even be surprised if this was a voluntary defense, because you cannot tell me like this woman was her mandatory, because if this woman was Senesa's mandatory, that had to mean that she probably had to step aside or do something in the process of not trying to take the fight now, and then maybe she, got called up by one of the sanctioning bodies, i.e. the WBA, to become a mandatory. But I find that extremely hard to believe, because that doesn't like really make any sense, and I don't believe that to be very true. I will say, as far as the other champions go, Seniesa, she could easily defeat all these ladies. She could beat Tina Rupert. She's a good fighter. I love watching her fight, but obviously she hasn't really fought any killers in the division, and she just recently had her first fight back in June, and she barely won that fight against Katia Gutierrez, a fight that was extremely close, in which she could have lost that fight. But yeah, Seniesa, she could definitely stop her. She'll probably stop Yokasa Val, because she is a very, like, how should I say? she's a good fighter, but the problem with this woman is that she leaves her chin up way too high in exchanges, and I kind of feel like she puts herself in a bad spot to get hard countered, and she can easily get dropped and stopped. But don't get it twisted. I mean, she's a very good fighter. She just recently had a fight back in December. Well, actually, yeah, like this past weekend. So yeah, I mean, good for her. It's good that she's staying active. So maybe her and Seniesa can get it going. Because the only way that I could say that Seniesa would ever fight, Czarina, would probably be if Czarina was to have a championship belt, or if she was highly, how should I say, or if she was popular enough to the point where people knew who she was, and then she publicly called out Seniesa Estrada, in which she has. It's just that Seniesa Estrada, she doesn't want to be pressured by the media that will catch on to it later on in the future, and therefore that would make her want to be pressured to fight her, because I'm pretty sure she will be pressured one day, where if she moves up to a weight division where Czarina is at, she could possibly run into her, and Czarina could say, hey, you're in my division, so what's up, let's get this fight going, blah blah blah. And it's not it's not like Seniesa cannot fight her, because Seniesa, she has fought at super flyweight before, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she's fought at flyweight. Yeah, I don't actually no, she hasn't fought at flyweight. I'm sorry. Yeah, she's fought at certain weights before. Yeah, she fought at 113 and a half, 111 and a half. I mean, she could definitely make super flyweight. She's tall enough to make that weight class, and her body fits very well into it. So it's not like Seniesa cannot fight at that weight class. And get out of here with this BS to say that, oh well, she she's too small for the weight. Czarina is way too big for her. No, she's not. If she's able to knock women out at 105, what makes you think that she can't do it? Like, do the same thing at fucking super flyweight at 115, or bantamweight, because Seniesa, she is a very strong fighter, and she has a good frame as far as how she's built. But no way in hell that Seniesa Estrada ever loses her power when she moves up in weight, because it shows that she's taking girls out at lower weights, because she is a very heavy fisted fighter, or heavy-handed fighter, and she has some good lethality with her punches. So, even at the bigger weight, she's actually like 10 times stronger. So basically, at the lower weights, her power still carries, and she's able to abuse it at that level. So I would say, if this fight does happen in the future, I would like to see the fight happen at maybe, I don't know, man, because Czarina, I don't want to see her just go down to a weight class where Seniesa is comfortable at, and then the fight's not fair. I would say that the weight cap should be at least 115 or 111. If they could fight at some catch weight, I obviously, Seniesa can definitely cut the weight, or move to, the particular weight that they could fight at. But if the fight is made, Seniesa, cannot make any excuses to say, oh well, this weight's too big for me, or I'm too small for this weight, blah blah blah, and she needs to come down to this weight. Like, nah, dude, it's either you fight her or you don't fight her. And I personally believe that there could be some ducking sign languages from her, where she doesn't want to fight her, because she has created some drama over the internet towards Czarina Mccoy, by way of Seniesa's internet beef that she had with her. But no, I just think, between her and Czarina, at this point of their careers, it makes all the sense in the world for Seniesa to fight her, knowing that yes, I get it. Like, she has more wins and she has more matches than Czarina. But it's like Czarina does not need to prove anything to Seniesa other than just fight her. And then you could say, okay, well, this, little girl wasn't, close to my level. And it's not like, Czarina, is like a low tier level fighter. She is a good high level fighter. She has, the tools to beat a lot of these veteran style female fighters. But I guess, if you want to play that Lomachenko Tank Davis, theory, or that, side effect where, you give, the opposing fighter time to get better and develop their skills, then that's what makes, those fighters grow to becoming a bigger threat in the future. So I just think how things are being moved for Seniesa's career doesn't make any sense because it's not like Golden Boy is really paying her that much money, but I would say it would be a really good marketable fight to fight a woman like Czarina Mccoy to be that type of level matchup that people can definitely remember, for the ages. So, yeah, my final message to Miss Seniesa Estrada, please, let's make the fight. I definitely like to see, the best fight the best, and I think you would give a very good performance against Czarina Mccoy. So, I mean, I'm just gonna leave it at that, and I guess until any more drama that pops up about it between these two ladies, I like to see the fight happen because no matter what Seniesa or Czarina do for the rest of their careers, it's just good for the sport of female boxing to have, these fighters, come together and start fighting each other more because if that doesn't happen for female boxing can easily, go out of business very soon in the near future, and I don't want to see that. I personally love watching, women's boxing, and I'm going to continue supporting it till the day I die. So I want to see this fight happen, and yeah, let's make it happen, man. So yeah, that's pretty much my little gist of how I see this whole drama, being built up between these two ladies. But if you guys don't know Miss Czarina Mccoy, I just posted one of her fights as of recently down in Mexico where she got a 5th round TKO stoppage. But yeah, go check that fight out. Support her on her Instagram or whatever social media followings that she has. Very intelligent woman, very soft-spoken, and she's very focused and dedicated to boxing. So much love and respect to Queen Czarina, and same to Seniesa Estrada. And yeah, let's get it going, man. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye.